Oh yeah, here it is, Wednesday, sometime in the middle of March, and I've been working away since you last saw me on getting this ready for painting. I've got it all taped up and taped up and taped up and taped up everywhere, and and now it's I've been through clean every kind of cleaning you can imagine, except for now I haven't done a tack cloth yet, but that's next on the list. And now I think it's pretty near ready for paint. There's a couple of little things like I have to take a Q-tip and see if I can get this grease off of here and a couple other spots like that. But for the most part, it's ready to go. So I'm gonna call this video here done for today. The I'll get one out. Like it's Wednesday today, so I'll likely stick this up on the internet tomorrow, and then it'll be the next thing that'll happen is going to be painting. So I'll make a separate episode for painting. But I've got like I spent time and I built my what do you call that, paint booth is all set to go, and I've got it everything's this area here. I cleaned up the floor this morning and vacuumed it all, so there's it's fairly dust free in this area right here. I still have to do some papering work around the lift so they don't paint the lift. I don't want to paint the lift. And some papering work on the lift on the other side there. But otherwise, so I'll do that. That'll be like it's 3:30 here today. By the time 5 o'clock comes around, I should be pretty near ready. And then tomorrow morning or tomorrow day, I'll come out and I'll put a tack cloth to it and then paint. So there you are. That'll be coming up soon. I also cleaned up the paint guns and even showed you how to adjust them. So that's all. Like I get all my information from. There's a channel called the Paint Society, and the guy on there does a really nice job of explaining how all this stuff works and how to make it work for you. So, no matter what you want to do, it's on YouTube somewhere. So I'll put a link to the Paint Society down below or somewhere. So see ya. I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, here I am. Start a new week. And I'm getting a little bit ahead of you because, I cleaned this up yesterday, right? Still have to do papering down here and papering back here. But I was wondering what to do about the back hatch. So I figured I'd just paint the inside of it. So that's done. And paint the receiver. So that's done. And then I can close that up. I'll just put the cover on there and close that up and leave it. And then the outside will get painted up as, normal. Then when it's all dry, I can peel it off there and it needs to have a rubber all the way around here. And I can put that in, and then that'll be sealed good. Anyway, so that's where I'm to. And now I'll go ahead and I figured I'd do that and let it dry, and then while it's drying, I'll paper up these wheels over here, and then it'll be dry enough that I can do some dusty work and not leave marks on that. So it'll get marked up a bit anyhow, but it's easy to touch up later. Anyhow, there we go. That actually is going to look pretty good, that red color in there. And it looks really good on here. What the hell, eh? Okay. Yeah, there, I guess the paperwork's, here I am all dressed up right, eh? All the paperwork's done on this side. Front to back, back to front. And I just have to cover up the, I don't know how this is doing. Oh, it's still a bit tacky. So I just have to cover up the lift on this side here. And then I think it's papered up. Now, while I was working away over there, I noticed that I'm not as good as I thought I was, or I didn't do as well as I thought I might have hang on, I'll get this thing off my nose here. I don't need it now, I don't think. Hang on. I'll just point it here and show you what I'm on about. Yeah, there you go. So, anyhow, there, that's better, I can talk now. So in here, right in here, there was a seam in there with a pretty good dip in it. Now I did take my straight edge and run it along like this, and you can see light. So it's high here, low here, low here, and then down this side here. It's pretty good. Little like it needs about 1/8 of an inch of putty here. Needs a a good bit right there, and a little bit right there. And then there's another spot right over here, right there where it's low. Otherwise, I think it's not too bad. So I'll fix up that. I'll fix up those holes and see what I can come up with there. Anyway, that'll be. So I should get the pencil out and mark them, right? Where was it? Right there. There. And there, right to the top there. And a little bit here, okay? So I'll fix up those holes. So I use pencil because if you use a marker pen, it'll bleed through later. That's what the guys the experts on this stuff say. If you use a pencil, it won't bleed through later. And then you can, when you get sanded down to your previous pencil mark, you'll know that you're sanded far enough, right? So, see here I've got just to the edge of the pencil mark there, and I think it filled in that hole pretty good. So I've got to fill in that pencil mark hole, and here, and there, and then we'll carry on. There now, I put a pretty big pile of it on there. Well, not that big, but a big enough pile. So I'm going to take the block sander now and sand it down. Now you've seen this happen before. If you want to watch, you can watch. Hey, wait a minute till I get things set up. There's it pointing right about there somewhere. I'd like to even zoom that in if you want me to. Hang on. How do you make it zoom? Right about there. Right around there is where I'm going to be. So I might have to, after a while, I'll pick this up a bit. How's that look? Hey? Okay. We'll get her figured. There we go. Yeah, I know it all likely just looks exactly the same to you, but it did get quite a bit of filler in there to make that smooth, and it is smooth. I think there'll be a couple of little bumps on it, but it's pretty good for my works. I think I'll be happy with it. Anyhow, then the rest of it I'll have to keep on working on. I think I'm pretty happy with this bit up here now for now. So now I'm gonna put the car up and I'm gonna vacuum the floor, and then that'll be that for the day. Mr. Vacuum's right there. That's high enough. Anyway, I'll vacuum up and then I'll talk to you later. Yeah, so here we are. More. I think that's the right spot, yeah. So, just down along the bottom, along this bottom edge here, I don't know, am my shoulder going to be in your way for the whole thing? Likely. Anyway, needs some more filler down here just to smooth this edge out, eh? Well, it for today. I don't know, what was that? Was that my shoulder, the whole thing? If it is, if it is my shoulder, the whole thing, I'll just cut it out, hey? Yeah, anyway, that turned out okay. Looks pretty good back here. This part here got a little bit of dust on it, but not bad. It's still a bit tacky, so by tomorrow it'll be all right. I'll just clear the dust off before it sticks in there, eh? There we go. Anyway, and then I'll put the cover back on there, and that'll be just set to go. And then be ready to paint it. I'll do a little bit of sanding out here where it got some dust on it. Anyway, there we go. That'll be it for today, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Yeah, here it is, Sunday. Back at it. Now, here. What am I doing today? I'll turn on this light here. I've got this mostly cleaned out. Did I show you that? Used a wire brush in there, cleaned it out, and I taped up the wires and then hid them out of the way. And mostly it's okay. I think I'll be able to just put a coat of paint in there and I'll be happy. Now, down on here, this side, so I don't know, can you see that pencil mark? I made a pencil mark around here. So what I've done is got my straight edge, right? I just put the straight edge up against the edge of it here, and you can tell where it needs to be filled. So there's a low spot here, but once you get right to there, then it's flat across there. So, and then it's flat the rest of the way down. Anyway. So I'll go ahead and I'll fill this up here. I might need a bit of fill right there, but I'll check that before I do anything. And the rest of the panel seems to be pretty damn good. So then, how did it turn out with the paint from yesterday? I don't know. I'll check it out here and see. Turn on some more light. Light pointing up. Light pointing at the paint job. There. Oh, it feels good. Feels really nice. Nice and smooth. Up here, and this feels good too. So I'm happy there. That's a happy spot. So what I'll do is I'll just put this on there, and then I can sand everything and paint it. I think I'll just do that right now. You can watch if you like. See if I drop it anywhere. See what happens. See what happens here. Here it comes. Oh. Now it's liable to get scratched up a bit, but of course it's going to get scratched up with use. So anyway, there it is. Hey. So I have to, now this is all, that's sanded and ready to go. And it's all, you know, taped up. So I'm ready to paint in the back here anyhow, but that's not quite ready back here. Anyway, I've got to do some more body work, so I'll get to it. That looks good, and there's the shape of it, right? I can use that for a backdrop for other stuff. I'll put another piece of paper in here to make sure that I don't, whoops, where in here to make sure I don't paint the door, right? Okay, that's all. I'll get started and I'll show you how I do. Yeah, there now. I've been over it with the sander at 80 grit. And then I've been over it at sanding at 120 grit. And you know, for you guys out there, that's about 2 hours, more than 2 hours of work to make it look exactly the same, eh? But you can see the little bits of difference, the deep scratches from that thing there leaves pretty deep scratches in it some places, and they all get pulled out with the other grits. There's some right in there. I don't know. Can you see? Everything's dust, but right there's a bunch of scratches still. But they'll come out with the next round, I hope, which would be 220 grit paper, and then after that, it's pretty well ready to paint it. Isn't that something? But lots of cleaning up to do before I can do that. So, looks pretty, you know, it just happens right away for you guys, but a little bit longer for me. Anyhow, I'll keep at it. I'll show you how I get along. Yeah, that's all the machine sanding done. I have to do a few of the little corners with, what do you call it, just a hand sand, you know, to clean up a couple of little things. And then clean up in here a bit and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good and feeling pretty good. Dusty, yucky. So now I spent some time and I put it all the way up and climbed into it and blew all the dust off all those lights up there so that it wouldn't be coming down when I was trying to paint. And then blew all the dust off the high stuff around the shop everywhere. And then I had the fan going down there with the door open and pushing it out the door, I hope. Then I vacuumed, but it's a lot less dusty. And then tomorrow I'll bring out a bucket full of, you know, warm soapy water and a couple of rags. And I've got all of my rags in that thing here. I'm going to take them in and clean them and clean the dust off my work shirt and all that kind of stuff. And that'll be a good start at getting it cleaned up in here, clean enough to start painting. Now I need to get, what else do I need from the store? I need a couple of those filter things. I'd forgotten about that. I know I have one or two of them there. One anyhow, so that'll likely get me started okay. But I should have a couple of those, so I better go to the store and get some of them. So I'll just see how many I have. Hang on. Yeah, it looks like I only have one of those strainer things, so better go and get a couple. And maybe I'll pick up a couple of new, whatever you call these, buckets for mixing paint. Let's see what I have here. I've got these two here. They've been used for just about everything. And they're not expensive and they're really handy, so I'll get a couple of those. Then otherwise, I think that's about all I need. We'll find out when I start putting up my paint booth. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll come at it again tomorrow. See you then. Yeah, here I am. It's hey, look, my hat is clean. You can see the colors. I cleaned up all my, well, even my shirt's clean. I cleaned up all the dusty stuff so that I can start cleaning up in here now. Now most of the dust, like there's still lots of it up above that settled down again, but I'll go up and I'll blow that off once more. And but I'm going to clean up everything on the workbenches here so I can clear the space for painting, and then I'll start putting up my painting guard, or whatever you want to call that, my paint booth. So then I also went and I cleaned all the rags. Like I've got a box full of clean rags here now, and clean gloves too. So there's my box for putting stuff in, and this box here I'll put stuff in too. So clean it up and see what I can get up to. Yeah, there now. You haven't seen that bench that clean since I think I did the TR7 painting, right? And most of the stuff is, like, I put a lot of the stuff down in the box down there out of the way. And up on here, this stuff here I'm going to use. So I'll start, well, number one, I'll get my guns out here and just let the metal bits soak overnight. And that'll be good. And then tomorrow, I'll see about getting, well, I'll blow some more dust off tomorrow and then see about getting the cleanup done on it so that it's going to be clean. Anyhow, there we go. It's, short day today. It's 5:15 already, so time to quit for the day. Yeah, late start again today. It was more moving snow. Seems that it's a daily event. Well, it is a daily event because I had to do it yesterday morning and now I had to do it this morning. So I'll get out to the shop here now and see what's going to go on. We'll do a little bit more cleaning up. Yeah, here I am back at it. I've got the special gear on, right? And anyway, I'm going to today, well, last night I left my paint guns in soaking in acetone just to get the yucco out of them, any yucco that's left over from last time. And I'll see if I can get them cleaned up well. Then we'll go from there, see what happens. And then I just, whoops, there, test two here. There's gun number one clean, and I just put a bit of acetone in the bucket up top here, then, and it'll spit through there if you want it to, but that's just to let it soak. There was a bunch of yuck in there that got cleaned out, and it seems to be running right. Now gun number two, I'll get that cleaned up now. Here we are. So, here it is here. This part here seems to be okay. That adjustment here, that's the width, like a circle. This one's the speed on this one, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, but I'll stick it together and then we'll get it sorted out. But all the parts are in the bucket here, except for this. I've got this out. It's reasonably clean already, so it goes right in here. And through there. And then in the bucket. There's that spring and this tensioner thing. Q-tips, right? Q-tips everywhere. And inside that bucket is acetone. So the spring goes on right here. Now the way you set these up is, well, you need to get the pointy thing on here first. But you see that the trigger pulls on that? Anyway, now, next. This is the part of the gun. That's the other part of the gun. I got this little thing here for tip. It's usually for cleaning out the tips on welding equipment, but it's actually pretty handy for this stuff because it's got little tiny pokey things. You've got all sorts of different sizes of pokey things that you can run through these holes here. So I get a little tiny one here, and it's good for those small holes up at the end. Like there's 4 little holes right here that help the spray pattern.
And then a couple little holes right in here. This one here is 1.3, so I use it for clear coat. Use 1.4 for doing the base coat. But they're not too tough to clean. And this bit here, see, there's all sorts of holes in this thing. So I'll run the little pokey thing through them all. I'll get a bigger pokey thing for those holes. Maybe about that big, eh? But, like, you don't want to, these got a little bit of a file on them, so you don't want to file anything. Just want to make sure they're clear, like the, make sure all of the yuck is out of them, which is easy to do. And I'll swish them around in my bucket of acetone. The reason I got this mask on is because it's the acetone stuff here is pretty smelly stuff. And I'm pretty sure I don't need to be smelling it. Lots of these little holes. I think I got them all. Oh, that one there is too big a thing, but it's clear in there. So now I'll just take the swirl it around in there. Q-tip, eh? Everything is, the world can't live without Q-tips. Look, there's a bit of dirt on there too. That's good. Good to get the yuck off. Give it another swirl. Oops. Drop it right in there. You don't want to be sticking your hands in that acetone either. And then this part goes right in here, like so. And every different gun has a different size thing. This one here is 22 millimeters. And that part here goes right on there, like so. I forget if it's supposed to be like that. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like that, right there. Then when you set the gun up, you loosen it off and pull on the trigger, and then loosen it off so the trigger will pull all the way, and then just push it in with the gun pulled, turn it in until you just get a bit of pressure on it. That's full open or something. Then you can start adjusting from there. Anyway, there it is, put together, except for the top. Now I'll just put a bit of acetone in here. And see if it'll run through, yeah, see? That just rinse it out a bit. And then I'll run with the air pressure on it in a second here. So if you watch this over here, this thing here creates the different sizes. And this is for airflow. So it's running way too high.
So I went around. Well, I went around with the sandpaper, hand sandpaper, and just sanded up anything that was shiny like that still. Missed a couple of spots. I'll pick them up as I go. And down here, a little bit of sanding right there. Sanded around these things here. And now I'm going around with like a terry cloth. Here's a terry cloth. Just going around and picking up all the dust. Taking the dust into the terry cloth. And then the next thing I'll do is I'll go around with what do you call that stuff? Acetone on a rag, and that'll take all the grease out of it. Because I don't really want to put water on it. That'll make everything, all the bare metal will rust on me before I get a chance to paint it. So we'll just carry on doing this. Clean, clean, clean. This rags here, these terry cloth rags, they really pick up the dust very well. So I'll have to get rid of this dust on the paper too. But that's no trouble. That'll all pick it up. I'll go over all this stuff with a tack cloth also later. Like it'll get the acetone treatment, then it'll get a tack cloth treatment. But mostly it's coming out pretty good. I think I'll be happy. Anyhow, I'll just carry on cleaning. Like you see that there now, and then you just run the cloth on it, it pokes all the dust off of it. Just real quick, it takes the dust off. And then I run the vacuum cleaner and pull the dust out of this rag. And I've got numerous rags, so it's not like I'm short of rags. And I think I got a little bit more sanding to do. I'll pick it up as I go, like you feel stuff when you're dusting. So I'll pick up anything that needs sanding as I go along. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, so there it is. I've got it cleaned up pretty well, dusted off anyhow, and then I vacuumed out the interior. I will bring out some soap and water for to do the floor in there because it's got dirt that soap and water is good for. Anyhow, besides that, now I'm going to start building my what do you call this thing? Call it a paint booth. Start building that, see how that comes together. Yeah, that's like the, I took a test piece of the plastic. It's pretty flimsy plastic, but it'll work. So I took that test piece and then I just taped it to the top at the halfway point up there, and it goes right to the ground here, just right at the edge of the ground. That's a good fit. That must be 103 inches or something. Anyway, so now I have to, as I go, I'll just dust off the thing, and then that'll be good. Okay, so I'll start building a thing. I'll show you how I get along. Yeah, so I built myself a little bit of a roller thing here that allows it to turn off of that and just go around. So, and it's going up all right. Easy. Well, so far so good. I got the door covered. This, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do here yet. I think I'll just plastic that off and put a sheet in front of the door or something. But for the most, it's looking like it's going to work. And way better than the last time, because the last time I was stapled to the wall over there and halfway to the ground, and oh dear. Anyhow, there we go. I'll just keep on going and I'll show you how I do. Show you how it is. Yeah, there now. Will you look at that, eh? It's a paint booth, maybe. That's pretty good. So that'll give me lots of room here for painting, right? And I've made it so that I can sneak around through here to get into tools and stuff. I've got that so it's open. I can turn on the fan and let it go. Then what else is going? Then all the way down that side of it is up. And all around there. And then here, again, I've got an overlap of quite a bit of an overlap there. So I can get in and out the door. And the heater, I've got that stapled to the wall back there so it doesn't suck into the heater. The heater hasn't started since, so I'm waiting for the heater to start to see if it's going to suck into the heater. So I might have to staple it here closer, but we'll see. Well, right there, closer. Anyhow, that's a paint booth. Now I guess that my paper's on the wrong side there, so I'm going to get a few slices of paper and just put them down here that I can practice paint on. Okie dokie, there you go. Oh yeah, there we go. Heater's going, and it's not sucking the plastic up into it, but it is blowing the plastic around a bit. So I'll make sure that the heater's not going when I paint, just to keep the plastic laying flat. And yeah, it all looks pretty good. I think we're okay. I think I've got enough room here. I can get in with the spray gun. And then I'll lift the van up and down a bit to get to the right spot. So I think the order of it is the roof first up here, and then I can do like I want to be able to be standing inside there to do some of that roof stuff. So that would mean that I don't want to be painting the floor there before I finish up above. So maybe I'll do the roof and then down to around here somewhere. Here. And then I'll, no, I suppose I should do the whole outside then first. So I'll do the outside first and then do the inside. I'll think about that. I don't know, it might be too late to give me any advice on that, but that's what we're going to go with, I think. Anyhow, but that'll be tomorrow. I might be painting. That'll be nice. Well, we'll see if it's nice. Okay, that's all for today. See you then. Yeah, so here I am, new day, out here again. And I've got my plastic wrap all up. Sort of just lifted it up to get it out of the way so I can finish up the cleanup now. Now that I'm set to go, I can get in and out the door and everything like that. So, now, on the guns. So, on the guns. They're clean and ready to go. I watched a video this morning, so wait a minute until I set up this camera and I'll show you. Show you what I know. Yeah, here's the gun, right? So this knob here is the, if you turn it in real tight to the end, you get a little circle. So you turn it out all the way you can go and you get a bigger fan. And then the guy says turn it in about a quarter turn. So about to there. Then when you set up this button here, which is the flow rate, you back it out until there's no tension on it anymore, right? It goes all the way, it doesn't move anymore. Then turn it in until you feel tension. Right there. That's coming up against this thing here. Then you can let go of that and then turn it a turn. So it's that little mark there is there, so make that Little mark back there again. One turn in from full, what they call full flow. Then down here, you adjust the air pressure so it's in around 20, or somewhere around 20 pounds per square inch. This thing here sits that way, and that way you get a vertical fan. And then when you're ready to go, then you go and start testing it on. That's a good startup place, and then you go start testing it on over on the wall there to see how the fan looks and see if it's a spray pattern that you want. Then this gun here has got you can lock it in, like with this little locking nut here. You can lock that into that spot, so you never have to think about adjusting it again. But we'll wait and see what happens when that comes. Okay, there's gun adjustment 101, eh? Yeah, so I brought out a bucket of soapy water, and I'm going to do the floor in there. Otherwise, I think it's just a matter of going over it with a rag with some acetone on it and cleaning off everything else. We'll just see how it works out. Then but the floor needs just to be cleaned. Then I have to tape up that side over there. I haven't taped it up yet. And I'll put some paper down along this, along my lift, so I don't paint the lift. I don't be wanting to paint the lift. See, I painted it green when I was doing the Triumph. Got a bit of green on it. And then I spent the last half hour or so cleaning up the floor and getting all the junk out of the way, so that it's pretty dust free in here now, down in this area, and that will keep the dust that's over there out. And I've blown off the top stuff pretty good, so I think it's all okay. So I'll let it down now, and I'll start cleaning the floor in here, and then we'll carry on. Now, the order of paint, right? So what I'll do is I'll do all the interior except for the floor right here and right there. Then I'll do the roof up there, and then I'll start working down the outside. So I was thinking about that. I thought about, like, if I did the interior last, then I wouldn't have to worry about walking on the floor. But if you do the interior last, then you're going to get overspray on the exterior. So I want to do the exterior last. You were likely yelling at me about that anyhow. So that's what I'll do somehow or other. We'll figure it out. So anyhow, I'll carry on. I'll get to cleaning. Yeah, there now. I've done. I decided I'd just go ahead and wipe it all down with a damp cloth, and it picked up an awful lot of dust because there's dirty water there, right? So it picks up most of the dust and debris that you miss with everything else. Now that's the interior done, so I'll go over the exterior with my little cloth here. And I did actually have the roof up there from standing inside. You can see where I stopped right there. Anyway, so I'll do the rest of the car, and then the next step will be back to the acetone rag, right? And then I was able to dust this off pretty good here. What I don't want is that blowing dust everywhere when I want to get painting, right? So I dusted it off pretty well. So anyhow, I'll carry on and see about finishing the cleanup. It actually cleaned up in here really nice. Debris. I'm still pulling spiders out. You'll be pulling spiders out forever. Okay, carry on. There now. I've been over the whole thing, inside and outside, upside and downside, with a damp cloth, and that seems to pull all the dust up pretty nicely. So now I'll just go over it with my acetone rag, and that'll get all the any bits of oil, like fingerprint oil and stuff like that. Then I'm not allowed to. Then I have to wear rubber gloves for the rest of my life here, I guess. But we'll see how it goes. It seemed to worked out all right for that cleaning it up. And there's a couple of spots where I might need to get Q-tip out to clean up in here. Old grease and glue and stuff, but we'll get that done. Anyhow, it's going to be okay. I can see that I didn't do a perfect job on the bodywork here. A little bit of a hump to it there. Don't know whether that's me or the guys before me. Anyway, but how it is there, how it's going to be. And there was lots of dust on it, so that's all cleaned off. And so now, next is I'll take the acetone to it and see if I can get the any grease and stuff off of it now. Yeah, there now. I've been over it all with a cloth with acetone on it, and onto the rubber glove mode now. So I think it's next step is to then I put this up here. This is the side panel that goes right on here, so I don't forget about it, right? Because I often forget about things like that. I'll just put a bit of light on there so that the guy can see it better. Then I think it's ready for paint now. Oh my. What'll I do? It's about 3:15. I suppose I could put a coat of paint on the inside. Let's see. 3:30. So that means a couple hours to go. Now, should I cut off this video here? I likely should. So here we are. It's, what day is it? It's Wednesday today. And I've been at preparation for paint for quite a while here. And I see there's still a couple of other little things to do, like I've got to clean up in here. So I'll do that. And clean up over there. But I've got my little paint booth made. I've got my guns cleaned. I got the paint here somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere around. Oh, there it is right there. And I've got the hardener over there. So next thing is to just paint the little thing, eh? And I'll run a tack cloth on everything here. There's a little bit of residue left from whatever you call that stuff, the acetone, eh? But I'll run a tack cloth over everything and clean up in here these little things. This is acetone in here, so I'll clean up anything like around here. I'll get the Q-tips out and clean up that and that, and then I think I'll be pretty near ready to paint it by then, right? I'm just looking around to see if I can find anything else I need to do, and a little bit of taping to do on that wire right there, which I'll do. Oh yeah, this screw here, there's a screw right here. It's been 100 times I've said to myself, got to get that out. So that will be right now, I'll get that out. Okay, so I'll carry on, and likely, what did I do? This is all about the preparation for painting, right? I think I finished up all the sanding, and I finished up all the body work, and then I started cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. So this will be the cleanup and preparation for sanding episode, right? And then likely by Friday I'll have another episode out that's got it all painted up. So we'll see. Anyhow, that's all for this episode, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now. Yeah, so here's the Buster report for Tuesday, right? March 7th or March, yeah, I think it's March 7th. Down to the beach already. And it snowed again last night, of course. High tide now, pretty high tide today. And some of the little bits of ice are breaking off of the edge of the shore. But it's a nice sunny day now. I don't know what's supposed to happen. It's kind of the weatherman says grim for the week, but it doesn't look too grim today. And it's nice and warm out, so that's good. I did do my complement of snow blowing this morning, so I'm a little bit late getting down to the beach. It's noontime already. Okay, that's the report for the day. See you later.